Hey everyone, PC back with some more DCS A-10C Warthog tutorials. In this tutorial I thought we'd go over this guy, some basic countermeasurement, the countermeasures control panel. But first I'm going to show you guys in the manual where you can find all this stuff and some more in-depth stuff to the countermeasurement system. So I'll go ahead and catch you guys back here after that. Okay, and here we are on the DCS A-10C Warthog flight manual. If you go to page 400, I believe, 402. So page 402 in the DCS A-10C Warthog Flight Manual. You'll land on the Countermeasurement Systems page. Don't get this confused with the stuff at the top of the manual. That's just like your general systems overview. This is the detailed stuff. So as you can see here, it walks through what I've already kind of gone through. Your mode dial, main, semi-auto for the mode selector switch, which is right here. We'll go over these here in a minute in the video, but now you also have your, it walks you through a more in detailed description of everything that I'm going to go over in the video. But the most important thing, here you go, are active programs. So as you can see, this will tell you, like I said in the video, this will tell you what all the programs do. So as you can see, Program A, it would by default dispense 2 chaff, 0 flare, and an interval of 1 second. And then B, C, D, and all the rest. But you can change these if you like, which I'll go over how to do that in this video as well. This shows you how to edit the program. This shows you, like I'm going to go over what these guys do, but in a more in-depth detail. And then also another useful thing is it shows you what all the ground radar symbols mean in your RWR. And that's that for the flight manual. But another very useful manual, and we'll go over here to the 25th VFS Air Defense by Snoopy. It's air defenses for the A-10C Warthog. As you can see here, this will basically be a complete tutorial on what all these symbols mean. And as you can see here, it will go through most of the most common threats, and as you can see, this will say how high you have to be to engage it, or how far away you have to be to engage it, and then your countermeasures, what program you want to be on. So SAM1, you want to release chaff, and this will go through all of those, and also what they look like for the threats. I highly recommend the 25th VFS Air Defense Guide. It's really good. As you can see, it has pictures and it tells you exactly what ECM program to use, as well as what to release for each individual threat. So with that, we'll cut back to the video now. Alright, now that you guys have seen the manual on how to operate this thing and the more in-depth stuff to it, the first thing we're going to go over is the display screen here. So on its default kind of display, it's showing 180 chaff, 150 flare, so this stands for how much chaff you have left, how much flare you have left. OTR1, you can read what that is about in the manual that we just saw. And then program, and we're on a program. The first thing I want to go over is this rocker switch here. And you can cycle through different programs that will do different things for you. They will change the amount of flare and chaff that are dispensed, how fast they are dispensed, and how many times the program is repeated. So that is your basic display screen, and you can cycle through the programs here on this rocker switch. You can find where these what these programs do in the manual, as well as the, I believe, the 25th Airborne A-10C Defense checklist, which I'll have down in the description below, as it usually is on these things. Next, you'll notice a brightness knob, which is exactly what it does. It changes the brightness of this LCD screen. And then you'll have over here your system switches, which you mess with during takeoff. And as you can see, when you mess with it, so this is MWS missile warning system, your jammer, radar warning system, and display for up there. All these do different things. So this one turns on your missile warning system, jammer, radar warning receiver, and your display. So what you can do here is turn these on, and now these have different functions. So this is one panel of the countermeasurements display. Let's quickly go over up here the countermeasurement display up here. This is basically almost like a heads-up version of it. So you can see here you have chaff. You're on profile A. You have 180 chaff left. You have 150 flare left. This M means that it's in manual mode. So if I were to move this rocker switch to, let's say, semi-auto, now we're in S mode, which stands for semi-auto. So this is kind of at a glance what the heck it's doing. You have different modes for your jammer. So you have standby air, SAM1, SAM2, AAA, air, and then back to SAM1. and then your missile warning system active. That doesn't really do anything. You can change the brightness here for this display, as well as the audio, which you saw me zipping down a second ago. This is your missile launch warning light. You want to pay special close attention to this. And now this guy is your radar warning receiver. I'll let you guys look over the manual. I'm not going to sit here forever, but this is its brightness knob. But what all these symbols are, they're in the manual below. But I just kind of want to do a basic tutorial. This will show up where your targets are and what's around you. It will show up here. And that's where I'll display an audio alarm when a new target appears, or just a new entity, I guess I should say, on the radar appears. And then when a missile is launched, it will also make a tone. So what you can do here is, obviously this is your mode selector. So you have off, standby, manual mode, which means you have to do everything yourself. Semi-manual mode, which means you activate it when you're getting either locked, you're launched on, things like that. You just activate it, and then it will go through its cycle on its own. And then auto mode, which will automatically detect and fire and then stop on its own, which is good to just. It's a good little mode for starting out if you don't necessarily know what you have, what you're dealing with. So I usually put mine in manual. This guy right here is your jettison. You can jettison all of your flares and chaff. You just return that on and then start firing. This is a return button to return to the home page of this screen. Now quickly, as we saw on our radar bit test, if you right click these, they do different things. So you can come down here to your display mode. As you can see, that brought up a self bit test on our radar warning receiver radar screen there, as we do in the takeoff checks. But you can also come down here to display, right click, and now looky here. On the manual mode anyway, you can change your profile. So we're on A profile. You can press this button here, and now you can change how many chaff you have from 0 to, let's see here, 999. So we'll do 1 chaff, and then you can come over and do the same thing for flare. You can just mess with that and put what you desire on there. Now interval would be how long this goes. So we would dispense 1 chaff and 1 flare for 1 second over 10 cycles. So I would bring this down to probably about, since we're only doing 1, the fastest will go, which is 25 seconds. And then intervals, this will repeat 10 times unless you stop it, and then it will stop. Now to get out of this screen, you just press return, and then return again, and now we're on program A. So now we have reprogrammed program A basically. So if I do that again, we're on program A. As you can see, that's what we left it as. If I go back and go to program B, and then do the same thing, as you can see, this is a different profile. So as you can see, there are different profiles for different things. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is where this happens. So this happens right here with this button on the side of your stick. If you push this button forward, it starts dispensing whatever you have set. If you push it back, it will stop. Now left and right changes your program. And then if you push this down, as you can see there, we just pushed it down, it activates our jammer. So now we are jamming on the AAA frequency for our jammer, which is right there. Now then, to actually dispense flares, you won't have to be off the ground. You have to have this in, I guess, manual mode, or you can do semi or whatever you like. And then let's say we're getting locked onto. So I would push my control forward. And as you see there, we dispense flare and chaff, and you can see the countdown. But in a heads-up view, you can also see right here, the amount goes down, but you saw that diamond, which means it's active. And then if we come outside and get view set here, as you can see, it is dispensing flare and chaff, which is good. That's what we want. And so that's pretty much the very, very basics, which I'm going to go over in this tutorial of your countermeasurement system. You should definitely have these mapped to something. You can find them in your controls menu. Just map those to something that's very useful. And that's just kind of the basics of countermeasures. Whenever you get locked on, I usually do flare and chaff at the same time, because you never know, normally know what's about to hit you, except if you can really quickly intercept and identify what these symbols are. Because one could pop up on your radar and instantly fire on you, so you may not have time to mess with that guy. You know what I mean? But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it helps you. But until the next video, take it easy.